Hi, I'm Bree McAdam, criminal justice reporter with the Star Phoenix, and this is the Docket, where I talk about the court cases that I've covered during this week. A Queen's Bench judge imposed a indeterminate, dangerous offender sentence this week on a man who has committed violent offenses while he's intoxicated, but refuses to stop using drugs and alcohol. And this was a factor in Justice Murray Acton's decision. He said Gary Alexander Iron is a danger to the public if he's refusing to be sober. Court heard Iron has been either drunk or high or both during his 35 prior convictions that are on his record, including 13 violent offenses involving weapons, assaults, and 5 robberies. 3 of those robberies were committed in a 3-month time span back in 2014, and one of them was the offense that led to Iron's dangerous offender designation. Now, at Iron's hearing, corrections workers testified that he was apathetic about programming during his previous sentences, and that he accepts violence as just part of his lifestyle. The Crown argued that an indeterminate sentence is the only way to protect the public from Iron's future violence. And Justice Acton agreed, saying it's impossible to treat somebody with this type of attitude. Now, dangerous offenders who are serving indeterminate sentences are eligible to apply for parole after 7 years. And there was a child neglect case in Queen's Bench Court this week that involved, quote, a level of malnutrition rarely seen in Canada. A 39-year-old man was sentenced to 2.5 years after he pleaded guilty to criminal negligence causing bodily harm. Court heard he participated in starving and restraining his girlfriend's son when he was between 5 and 7 years old, and that it was a form of punishment. The boy's mother actually told police that sometimes her son would be tied up for hours because the longer he screamed, the longer he was restrained. This was all discovered by the boy's grandmother, who reported her concerns to a social worker. The boy was medically assessed, and doctors determined that he was severely underweight, he had a distended belly, and he was obsessed with food. But amazingly, court heard the boy is doing very well. He lives with his grandmother and his great-grandmother, and they told the court through victim impact statements that the boy has become a fun, thoughtful, and caring child who treats others with grace. And they actually thanked the boy's former stepdad for pleading guilty and sparing the boy from having to testify at a trial. It's one reason why the Crown entered into a joint submission with the defense for 2.5 years. Now, the man has been in custody almost continuously since his arrest, so he's actually already served his sentence, referred to as time served. He'll be on probation for the next 2 years. As always, you can read more detailed accounts of these stories at thestarphoenix.com.